Carney, Sean Curry, their normal star, back inside the box to replace Ben Robbins. Johnson to throw coming this way. It's from the sideline for the East, the freshman. It's also twice. Once in college football, tell everybody how long these throws are. You can see in NFL, you realize how much tighter those hashes are. But in college football, I mean, you're talking about throwing the ball almost 30 to 40 yards across the field from hash mark all the way to the sideline. You can really show off your arm strength with Andrew Johnson here down there. Second time for him. Another short step. Crashing into Brown. I thought maybe a flag would come out. He was trying to jump the route and pick it off. Yeah, Baron Morton thought the one for K-State was early. Watch this one right here. Bryce Pollock is going to fire down on this out route. He hits it before the ball even gets there. Only thing I can say is maybe the ref saw there was one catch. That was a really high throw, and Avery Johnson was being safe knowing that he made the wrong read. Don't make a best place. Roberts is back in, by the way. He's off of the line. Roberts. To Johnson, Roberts gets on the outside, step with one, Pollock and tiptoe to the sideline. Let's see the spot. He's very close to the line again. It looks like he has it first down. Yeah, but that's he's not even supposed to be able to make this play, break that tackle, and get around because he's one of the fastest tool threats in the country. Ball security there, but almost came out. Goes down the sideline. There's one thing you just can't coach, and it's speed. Rodriguez might be picking up a little bit there, but he is a tough customer. First down. Johnson taken out of bounds. It was Nesty. Ushers him out. It was A.J. Holmes providing the pressure that time. Replacements for Gil Howard. But this is when your offensive coordinator has to come in and say, all right, I need to give him a play or two to get his money back. But that play is a throw for him. It's to scramble. They'll set up Bailey, charging after him. Throwing out wide, it's Jackson, and he's wrapped up by Murray. Texas Tech just doesn't miss tackles over. As chippiness between Poirier and Murray. Spice from Murray. Little spice from Murray. And you can see Avery Johnson again, he's breathing heavy. And what this Tech defense does so well is even when they don't get sacked, they make the quarterback move off of his spot. Yeah. And that is where Avery's probably seeing himself. And I feel like I'm my wife back here. It's not a little spit. It is 4th and 1 for Kansas State, the biggest play of the day for the Wildcats right now. Yeah, and this is where we haven't mentioned this guy being out the entire game. Dylan Edwards, their star running back. But you want to go forward here, and you would think, oh, just run the football downhill. You don't have a quarterback that's the best short yardage running quarterback. And do you trust your running back, Joe Jackson, to go out and get this? I say keep the ball in the hands of your best player. You don't get that one. Swanson. Couple of tight ends in. 4th and 1. It is the quarterback, Johnson, trying to get to the outside. To trip him up. And Texas Tech holds line. The tackle he missed earlier on the drive, not this time. And just look at, we call this population to the football. Watch all these guys on the interior. Close the gaps and then rally to the outside. Bryce Pollock, the corner. Which said corners don't tackle. Right here, Avery Johnson, as I said, not the biggest running quarterback. He tried to go to a speed, and that was the detriment of that. So if you think about the trickle down of Texas Tech's pass rush, right, it forces you into passing downs. We talked about that. But the trickle down is of the fatigue of a quarterback. When you're looking for a quick drop, give Avery Johnson a blow, as you said, for a moment. That second down play when he had to scramble may have caused that play. Right. First down, Texas Tech. Texas plays out the ground. Oh, my goodness gracious. Ryan Davis takes it back for Kansas State. And you're going to see goes for the stiff arm, and his hand on the ball. Eli wasn't even trying to punch that ball out. It just happened to bounce in K-State's way. Oh, the Big 12. And immediately his quarterback comes over to talk to Cam Dickey and say, "We got you." But that's up to the defense right now. Correct. The defense is in a sudden change moment now. Hey, you got a good stop. Well, get back out there on the field. What are you going to do about it? This is where you play complementary football and pick your offense back up. And Cameron Dickey happened to make a mistake. Johnson told us earlier, the course of his college football career, the value of the position. This one is a microscope on it. It's tough. That's the better decision there. It's just an extremely smart decision right there. David Johnson. And I think people have noticed since the week that he has gradually improved as a passer and in using his feet as a runner. And I found out that he's been working with Patrick Mahomes, his quarterback coach, obviously, here in Kansas City. And really, every single virtually person is working on all the things that he needs to be better and reinforcing in his mind why he is a dynamic quarterback. And it is because of his ability to move the chains for the Saints. That's not a deal. He had a little more to get. He balls and struck down and long for Kansas State. Yes, where do you see it? Ray Johnson right now, how does it affect the face with the you stated the act. When a quarterback starts to fatigue, especially a guy who doesn't they're running. They're not just running, they're running to make growth as well. The actor starts to pass and starts to drop just a little bit. She would keep all the defense that's going to stop the special traits that Aaron Johnson has. So he just has to split up the 6 minutes and make the big plays. Johnson taking a lot of ground. Johnson loves it up. Potatoes. Some lines. Airplanes. Kentucky just hey, how do you defend against this watch? Dan Bailey laid a couple of sacks, moves out of the way like it's not even there. These are plays that, as a defensive coordinator, you don't have an answer for. But look at that finish there at the end. They are going to hit him as much as they can. And this is where the rest of the K-State players have to step up for the quarterback. He's out there giving it their all. Tibbs has to make that catch. Said it's 4th and 7. They got to have these 3 timeouts. They got to snap it here fast. This has been their it's incomplete. Couldn't hang on. John Curry knocked it free. It is incomplete. And Texas Tech again. Stonewalls K-State. You're going to see this route. It's a great ball from Avery Johnson. He said, hey, who needs to step up? Garrett Oakley, you get off the ball. You got to make this catch. You pass the line. You got to finish it all the way to the ground. Okay, you talked about making big-time plays. John Curry, Johnny on the spot, attacks the hand as soon as the ball comes in. Amazing job by Texas Tech getting on the field. Curry, the Lubbock native, did not give up on the play. He almost had 2 bites of the apple there on getting the hand in to make the play. It's just, they are tremendous playmakers. They are. Just your point there is a great one. I want everyone at home to listen to that. Sometimes we complain. Hey, he pushed off. What am I supposed to do? John Curry didn't complain. He went and finished that play. It's always about how you finish. Kobe Williams hit on pain. Second down coming up. Take 3 timeouts. They don't use them yet. Texas Tech. Is there enough punch here for this offense is the question. So glad you asked them, Jason, because they've been running the football so effectively. You have a fumble there on the last drive, so maybe a little wary of running the ball. But now K-State is in a dire situation, so they're going to play one man. So get the ball to your big guys on the outside. Caleb Douglas, Reggie Virgil. Even if they split out Terrence Parker Jr., get isolated with a linebacker. Those are the matchups that they want. Right here, you got Terrence Parker Jr. Slide it down. Safety. There's Williams to the outside. Williams stood behind tackle could go a long loss. It is third down coming up. Taking the sideline. Stop the moment because it's a timeout. Called by Kansas State. They have 2 remaining, and it's time for a game summary sponsored by Pacific Life. No call to take it to. Building content future for nearly 160 years. Yeah, you talk about hitting the ball hit the defender in the back, time to get out my way. That man's gonna fall force in the military factor, finding his way all the way to the end zone. And of course, again, the speed of Avery Johnson just making plays field to field, and then Barrymore and Caleb Douglas being on the same page. Totally off script right there. This game has been a dynamic one. You've seen catches like this from Garrett Oakley on the high points, and then of course you got Avery Johnson trying to get it back to Garrett Oakley, and the ball gets broken up. This has been a wild, wacky game with a lot of wild, wacky calls. That's exactly what the Big 12 has been. And all year, all last year, and it's such close games, such a wild, fun league. I will say, Texas Tech trying to build this very special season. Last time they won here was 2008. Michael Crabtree, phenomenal. Even Grant Harrell. Last time they beat Kansas State anywhere was 10 years ago. I mean, at some point, in seasons like this, the magic extends even to series that technically don't go your way. Dickey breaks a tackle, keeps his feet, and runs to the sideline on a foul. On the run, lose 2 on the play. Because it's at the moment of 5 minutes plus, they'll be forced to call a timeout. It's their second timeout. Later in the game, timeouts would be an issue. So 1 timeout left for K-State.
The 3 for Me only at Chili's. Now service of the all-new Big QB for just $10.99. And that's 85% more beef than some quarter-pound burger. Yeah, that's fast food. This is how you value me. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
The wonderful joy of Kellogg's Dairy and ice cold milk. So
Just place your card. Slide to the right. Card locked. The chase level app is card locked. And it has encryption technology to help you keep your data safe. That's peace of mind for Chase. Make more. It's yours.
when winter season hits, emergency supports your immune system with so much more than vitamin C. Be ready to fight back with Emergency. And for on-the-go immune support, try Emergency Crystals. No water needed.
They look at us and wonder, what's out there? We are. We've never been the type to stand aside. Letting world-changing ideas go untested. We push even beyond our own expectations. Here we see across the country and heard around the world. We strive to be bold, to be impactful, and to challenge the status quo.
Because from here,
And here,
And even here, if possible.
it's like a great tequila. Takes on the city. Saturday on Fox. It's national standard. Despite what the haters might say. It's keep up with it. It's like the same way
How often do you talk to the haters? As a true focus, as a Chris,
daily because everybody has a role in life. You gotta let the haters play their role.
it's fun. Just gets away. Ah, the fair catch. Well,
Close it in. 5 minutes to go. Avery Johnson has got a couple of possessions on short fields. Texas Tech has stood very tall.
what do you want to see them play forward?
1 timeout, 5 minutes and a 2 slip. Yeah, first of all, I want to see them continue to spread the field and give Avery Johnson running lanes further. Sometimes when you say, hey, run the quarterback, you want to use his speed and run him sideline to sideline. That's not what it needs to be. He's a smaller built guy. Give him the passing lanes, allow him to see the field, give his receivers those deep short balls that they love to run. And if it's not there, then he can get out and get you. Got it. Most Avery Johnson. So he sees something he likes. He has the ability to do it. It's back to the here. It's three. My goodness. Talk about prime time players. Make prime time plays. It's right there. Nobody showing you exactly that. It's not a great number. They just fire it off sometimes. They link together, but there is no hiding. And we talk about skill position players as being playmakers. We talk about confidence as a playmakers. It's defense. Playmakers can make game-changing plays. For Texas Tech, 20 points up. You're going to see the city off the screen. Get to the quarterback like that is that fast. Gets around, tackle, gets to the quarterback as he tries to get out of the pocket. Goes for the ball because he knows he's got the sack. When you get the ball, and then goes the force fumble and the sack. They both count. And then, of course, John Curry right there. I want to be defended to watch what this man does because it bothers me to my core when I see guys jumping for the ball. They have the easiest put score opportunity. Trust me, you know, it's like baseball. When you're younger, still better other positions. It's not just quarterbacks out there. I was saying, though, like, people talk about Texas Tech, the transfers, and all the guys going to different places. A bunch of guys who stay. It's like they have Jacob Rodriguez, they're transferring the last year.
It's probably the best strategy. 3:30 and down for
Cool team. That's a 12 championship. Championship.
first shot for the day. Warm up.
To themselves. This isn't going to be
Or
the
if
same Texas Tech that keeps falling to Kansas State. The guys that came this teams across the country are paying guys by bringing in all these transfers and not seeing success. I think it's a testament to George Fire and the culture that he has been able to build at Texas Tech in such a short time. That these guys come in and they don't just play well. They play better than they've ever played in their lives. That's a really good point. It's on Jacob Rodriguez about he said Ronaldo High is one of the most loyal players he's ever been. There's another thing anymore.
Two hits to the down. I get it. I get what I lost back real fast with this strategy. It's a go-getter one. It's a short game play. So it's popping down. Usually start at 3:30. I got hit on the shot twice. But it's yeah. Yeah, man, we can be great.
And it's not just 16 two super games. And you see CJ Powell right there. We talk about quarterback. Talking about what this man has done for this pass rush. It's not just David Bailey. It's also Lee Hunter and AJ Holmes Jr. up front. And what he has them doing in practice, even in special teams periods, to work on all the different things they have to do to get after the quarterback. It's just truly amazing what he's been able to accomplish with these young guys. That's what you do.
I'll take one more. Since we didn't catch that 9.
It's a piece of the pie. You're going to see another team right here moving in on that scrimmage. He's going to drop back and attack. Watch as Avery Johnson moves that way. He moves with him. His eyes take it right to the ball and he throws it right to him. Avery just never saw it. And this is where any quarterbacks that are out there watching the game gets late and it feels like I got to try everything I can do to get us in position. You see the excitement for Texas Tech and just the disappointment from Avery Johnson. Young QBs don't make a bad situation worse. You got to see the whole field. If you're scrambling out and that throw, you can't throw that ball like he's 5 yards in front of you. You got to layer it over the top. There, Avery did. So, it's not just physical fatigue, though, right? It's mental fatigue as well. As Williams on the run to UNCTIU and Tucker Jacob Rodriguez. Listen, one of their superpowers is they present the same information to different guys totally different way based on how they look. It doesn't mean that you can't yell at the guy, you can't say this, you can't challenge him, but there's different ways to challenge guys. And he seems to know why for every single one of his players, and that's how he attacks them. Avery Johnson tries to key on the run through. He'll be third down coming up.
Who's ready for a team? Now you can order football in the Subway app. And number for just $1. That's right, Subway MVP Rewards members. Just $1. Favorite sub plus $1. Subway, eat fresh.
Just dental. It's just some nice. I mean, what else? It looks so class. Things have been great. My hair's going back. Yeah. Team's taking a fall. Team. It's just me. Nope. We hired a person.
Bro, let the team play 400.
Correction. Team of 7. Hey. It's beautiful. Grow your business. Custom.
When my hair started thinning, I wanted to attack the problem head on. My hair was terrible because it was drug-free, and I didn't want the side effects. My thicker hair gave a huge boost to my social life, and I really feel the best I ever had. Get growing at futurefull.com/man. Futurefull legend. Epic. This is Margaret. We'll be ready for war here. Once it's in, here we come. That's a football player. Hey guys, stick with me.
You want to quit? Pick the word that defines us.
Improbable.
Pick another word. So they attacked her here.
I saw the bear. Terrible. Cooking for me. I'm not sure this was a fair attack.
Seems like that.
There's a man. You ready to hear me now? Oh, well,
Like the game, one matchups, watching this right here. He wins it at the line, so just hit him with that safety right there with the leg, and then play hands. We keep talking about these things for wide receivers. Winning the line of scrimmage keeps the spacing slot on for your quarterback. All the way, let the DB know what's coming. That was picture perfect execution. Yeah, you see that throw. You can even see his reaction after the throw. You know when a quarterback loves it. Look at him. He's feeling it. I don't know what dance that is. I don't think he knows what it is either. But it looks like it's so
I don't think he know what he does it.
time this year and in years past as well. But Barrymore grew up the son of a coach. And over the process of the conversation, at one point, he said, so I think he said, and he just glossed over to the story. And he was like, never done a ton growing up. And I knew that I needed to play well because of that. Like, he doesn't want to be handed anything. And it's very clear about that. I think there's, in a young person, you don't hear that as definitively and as confidently about who he is as we heard it from Barrett. There feeds off of the negativity of people saying he's only got this because of that, and his dad this, and his dad that. He accepts that criticism. He doesn't think that's a very special quality for a team that's trying to get over the hump, like they did today, and trying to go out and accomplish their dreams of winning the Big 12 and going to the college conference. That this is the kind of guy you know, with that level of swagger. Look at that smile. That's the 100-watt smile he has every reason to have today. Jacob Kennedy is in to play quarterback for Kansas State. It's off for Rice again. Important to Jacob Rodriguez for connected. Well, apparently it's not freshman. Okay, because Jacob Rodriguez is his best friend from high school. They've known each other for a while now. They're trying to build this thing from the ground up for Texas Tech. So again, it was much more so that in high school going against these teams. Barrett Norton found out with his team. He's like, it's just nice to get over it. There's always school with chickens on his hands, and he's a tough guy to play. But he's on his team.
The DQ Boston Pops Chicken Strip Basket comes in your choice of honey barbecue or new sweet chili. Layer, flavor at the top, bottom, and everywhere in between. That's the Boston Pops Chicken Strip Basket. Get it delivered today.
It's fun. College football Friday. Michigan State. Arkansas. Saturday.
They're passive sometimes. You know what I mean? Our parents don't try it like that. So you have a wide receiver line open, they kind of split. You know what I'm saying? They can look. Nobody was saying. I know what you're saying for now. Nobody knows football.
It's great.
Like Tom Brady. That's nice. This is the story of one who knows that being ready for the unexpected comes from having a great channel. Who's professional at products and next day delivery help ensure that he and his team are prepared to rise to every challenge. So he can be confident that he has what he needs to help keep a chase safe. Call Ranger.com or just stop by. Ranger, with the ones who get it done.
Chance to solve everyone's problems.
Guys, right off the same as you watch from this small town. You won't be Tuesdays on Fox and watch anytime. There's Rice on it, man. He stood up like Rice Whitfield, another long-time Texas Tech linebacker. And that BYU game coming up is going to be one of the top Big 12 this year. Yes, it is. You're talking about a quarterback and Beard Bachmeyer from BYU, and it's really the entire country in chokehold. All two of their games over the past 3 weeks. Their team that hasn't really played a full 16 just yet, but now with Texas Tech having their quarterback back and having this type of performance against a very hot Kansas State team, it adds even more intrigue to that matchup next week. Top of the table in the Big 12, again with the Bearcats. 17 to go. Texas Tech will feel that a couple of times. They can't stand a chance to jump back into this Big 12 race. They have far hard for first time as Texas Tech was overwhelming defensively today. I wonder, we saw Ohio State earlier today, right? And Joel and Dennis talked a lot about their defense. Well, Barrett Norton's having a great time. I don't remember what I was talking about. Sorry, I was distracted. The best defense discussion in college football is really difficult. Yeah, it is. And, you know, Ohio State is they were able to offensively when you have Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith that were It looks like they can figure it out. Still a little bit more towards Texas Tech, especially after today's. Coming into this game, I was like, I'm the best. I don't know if they are the best. But after today, how this offense for Texas Tech struggled, defense kept them in it. Jacob Rodriguez, I mean, we're gonna have a serious discussion about whether or not Jacob Rodriguez and David Bailey should be in the conversation. Yes. It's a special day for Jacob Rodriguez. They got to go home. See the house that he and Emma on renovated, like an extra bounce today for him, but they just cut to Rodriguez and Bailey. Like this is a loaded defense led by Rodriguez, but they have all sorts of names getting Texas Tech its first win against Kansas State in 10 years.
What's up, guys? Welcome in. It is Monday here on Wake Up Barstool, and we got a Brandon Walker and the Nerds with us. We're going to recap the incredible Game 7 of the Series, maybe the best we've ever seen. Absolutely wild. Sunday here, Brandon Wilson, John Green, Bill Nye. Brandon Walker, top 10. Let's get started. We are in the one. Yes, Brandon. Are you raising your hand? I'm just saying. Oh, number one. Okay, that was confusing. What's up, y'all? Monday, Wake Up Barstool. There he is, Brandon. We have Pete Filthy, Blood Minutes, talking about Happy Last Hand. We have Dave Portnoy joining us for the game. What's up, brother? How we doing this weekend?
Having printer issues over here in the Keys, which is starting the day a little bit over. All right. Michigan win, Patriot win, back-to-back football victory Mondays. So I'm doing good.
Patriot win, sure, but you called that win really early yesterday. You were eliminated.
Which Patriots?
Yeah, you said the Patriots just won each other. We destroyed everybody. We destroyed everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called a little early because eventually within 21-7, we have the ball, but we're going in for another score, and then a sack fumble turned the whole game, and we end up with 9 points. But in this league, and nobody knows it better than me, Brandon Walker, I don't care if you win by 30. I don't care if you win by 1. These are all paid professionals. Any given Sunday, as that movie says, I mean, you have the Vikings going out, shocking the Lions, and the Packers losing Carolina. In this league of ours, in this great league of ours, it's you don't get pretty points. You just get points for winning. We've won 6 in a row, tied for the best record in the AFC. So I don't care. It's pretty ugly, whatever. Oh, in this NFL, a win is a win is a win. You take it, you get out of Dodge, and move on the next week.
Just saying, you won on a missed extra point. It looked like you had jinxed the team there for a while.
Well, if somebody would candy every day would be Halloween, we're 6-2, well 7-2. 7-2. I'm gonna be at the game in Tampa next week. Sitting with my good friends, the Bob Brown personal invite. So we're rolling. We're rolling. So you can say, oh, you almost jinxed them. You almost did this. You almost failed. You almost. We won the game. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. No one knows a better day. Can't take any consideration of a single human being on the planet that knows that better day.
Yeah.
So we talked last week about how sometimes, like when football season's going on, and you have a baseball game, even a World Series game, run up against some football that sometimes is just hard to break through. Whether it's like College Football Saturday, NFL Sunday, I don't know y'all most much in the room, but for the first time probably in my life, I actually won with football for baseball Saturday, and I think we saw maybe arguably the greatest Game 7 of World Series in baseball history.
Well, anytime you have Game 7 in anything, obviously that's going to draw people more than it would just game 5, game 4. So that had that going. You also have the YouTube, ESPN, or Coughl going. So a lot of people aren't adapting that way yet. So a lot of ways that you can watch football, college wasn't available. I'm not even sure what the tight games. I know Walker sneaked through with Mississippi State. Was it Tennessee? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's not the game. I watched the World Series. You're right. It's one of the great baseball games ever. I mean, I'm going to guess 2 plays in a row. I guess the play the plate. Yeah. And then I guess on that, the outfielder, they smashed it. Like, literally, firmly, so, 2 unbelievable plays. I'll tell you what, the play the plate, when they first showed the replay,
Off the inside, easy. 5 apiece. 4-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-1, 5-3, 6-2, 5-9, and 6-3.
pressure amps, the way everything goes. It's really nothing like it. And of course, Blue Jays at first and third with 1 out, and to hit a double play, to get gut punch like that. And here's the other thing about this sport in particular, maybe not like the Dodgers. The Blue Jays aren't going to be back. I mean, I hate this. I don't know if we have a lot of our fans out in Toronto. I don't know if we're here, but you're done. Like you're not going to be back. This isn't a sport where you automatically reboot. I don't look at their pitching staff and say, "Oh my God, they're got 1 through 5. You're gonna shut down. You're gonna up years, down years. They get a bunch of free agents, but they're in the AL East, where you run into the Yankees, you run into the Red Sox. This team isn't going to be back in that position for another 35 years minimum. So they got their guts ripped out. It's a city that loves to get their guts ripped out to Maple Leafs. So, I don't know what it says about me, but I was going to have to make their guts ripped out. The pitching team in my division. Dodgers, like, I don't really Dodger fans are LA softies. They don't really affect me.
All right, so we paid 35.
This guy comes in.
No, what we got? Get rid of the point. Yeah.
To believe.
We ain't had no none. So that was 80 in channel. 80 for that hot.
But one of the all-time sports performances and maybe because we live in a world where we've been taught guys can't go more than 6 innings. Guy throws 90 pitches the day before and it bails them out. One of the all-time had a little bit of everything. Yes, there's something that was watching.
Yeah, it's fine. It's coming down. The hard team for
Crossover from Boston there a little bit, but LA, I don't care about LA. They can play on the West Coast. There's no rivalry for me with the LA Dodgers. We beat them last time during the World Series. And the Blue Jays, I'm too familiar with. I was rooting against them, and I love to see people get their hearts ripped out. I love going into the locker room and seeing these players cry. Oh, we're not going to have this group together. It was a special group. I love it. Let's make sports great. Watch these grown men beat crocodile teams.
I have some numbers that are making more cool. The Blue Jays have scored the Red Sox, outscored the Dodgers 34-26 in the series. Not going to one batter the Blue Jays in 6. The Dodgers in 203 in the World Series. It's the lowest by a champion in the 1966 Orioles. And Miguel Rojas.
hard for it. Damn.
Not going to hold on right now.
Hard for it.
Position player. So it's 7 total right-handed pitchers the entire past 3 seasons.
I'll give you one more. If the guy takes a secondary lead, which you're taught. If you're taught to do it, if this is why most
I was speaking right from the same area. Same area code.
That guy gets a secondary lead with the World Series. So I'm a little bit like Dave, and I'm trying for Dodgers for the end, but mine turned during the game when a Blue Jays hitter got hit or got brushed back. And the bench is clear. Nobody's trying to hit you in Game 7 of the World Series. Not everybody in the world is trying to hit you in Game 7 of the World Series. He gets all his feelings flutter, and he's doing all this, and they get the warnings every day. Like, relax, man.
I don't think it was as much about like. I don't look at it. I saw it. Like, I'm confused, Walker.
It's crazy when you know your grip feel off. Nice like
That made you root for the Blue Jays?
So they were for the Dodgers.
Oh, I thought you had reversed and root for God.
426.
Russell trying to fight behind all game, and they did. They kept going, they kept going, they kept going. And the guy that comes off the bench Rojas, right? And he hitting the punt. And Dave Roberts said, "Oh, it's just my gut. I feel like this guy's going to make a play." He ends up making the biggest play in the entire baseball game.
For a long time. The Defiant Con's like, oh, he's a great player, great goalie. They don't know how to remember it.
We're gonna win bread, man. That's it. Oh, bread, man. I can show you how to do it, man. I ain't even playing that well crap shit. My table looking nice, but all right.
There's so many little, you can always look back. Baseball just feels there's so many little tiny moments and they just broke on 1/100th the other way that Blue Jays were celebrating. And the whole country was fine, right? The whole country. I saw a Connor McDavid clip, and he's talking about the Oilers were playing and they're showing the Blue Jays game. During the Oilers game, he was actually upset. He's like, it's weird. I was distracted. They took it off. But he also said
6-3
for
man.
the Blue Jays and gunning for the players. I'm gunning for this country. We lose. That's all we do. We lose in horrific fashion. Nobody knows it more than me. This is a city and a team that has really made a habit out of being
Drop 5 and hop that inside easy for 4.
and I love it. I don't like anybody winning except my teams. Now I accept that my teams can't win all the time. So if somebody else has to win, I want it as far away from me as possible. And like I said, the Dodgers don't really affect my day-to-day life. That's fair. If you want one,
We could probably stay at 5.
here, off to that point, but eliminating pitch means 16 Ks, 1 run.
No 5-1.
How about this? Have you all ever heard of the concept of the golden pitch? The golden pitch, it's a very rare baseball scenario.
I got your golden pitch.
And it's any pitch in which both teams can win the World Series on that pitch.
Golden pitch. Right? They never hear that. They had that. Baseball pitches, baby. He got that golden pitch.
Those 7 pitches with all that narrative hanging in the air, and then, well, the top. It's also, and I've explained it, soccer is the European.
16-8.
When you're down a run in baseball, down 2 runs in baseball, it feels like you're down 20 in football. And in football, and in basketball.
5. Even damn.
You can see like the comeback sort of happening. Like you're like, oh, drive me. In baseball, you feel like you're
Take 115 back to the track.
And it's just emotion swings. It really is very unique to the sport. Again, that Game 7 will live on forever. And I do think, like you're saying, Team Love, the fact there wasn't a monster game against it in football, the YouTube ESPN thing, I think all shining on this Game 7. That was an unbelievable game. Well, you got Japan locked in, you got Canada locked in. Like the worldwide ratings of this are going to be absolutely insane. And we should say, shout out to World Series MVP, young Bono, who ends up doing his best Randy Johnson impression, winning 3 games, like you said, 98 pitches the night before, comes in, closes it out, when he doesn't have his best stuff. It was a legendary performance. It's the greatest performance in the history of baseball. I truly believe that. 96 pitches in Game 6. You go 6 innings. The biggest better than the Otani 3 home runs. Yes, 96 pitches in Game 6.
Yeah.
Nobody else available besides him.
35. We're gonna go to 90. 30 quarter. 86.
You like baseball? Am I wrong in my belief that Japanese pitchers are totally different than American? Like they pitch a lot more. Their arms are the way their pitchers are different. Don't they throw a lot? The reason they pitch a lot more.
Hey, slow down.
They also catch once a week.
Sandals and all this. Yeah.
So that makes Yamamoto more likely.
So that go off long.
You get one thing, it's you very
funny because each month of Davis put to the test. Because they put it completely impressive wrong. Yeah, I thought I heard like the pitchers came over. It was kind of like they had to really tell them they should throw.
pitchers don't want to see there. You want to play 150 pitches in a game in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Like,
But then you I feel like the Dave Roberts just said pitch counts are up one though for everybody.
it's games on
It's just stunning. It's just stunning because in today's age, that's kind of one of the big gripes of baseball pitching is the guys don't go
You want to cut that.
5 innings is the winning guys rarely go 6. Got like Pete was saying, to see a guy go 90 something pitches in like for 4-0 days rest, come in and dominate like he did at the 4 times high leverage pitches, and absolutely stunning, unbelievable.
Yeah, and he caps off a great series in baseball. I feel like desperately needed. And look, here at after an NFL Sunday, good Bills Chiefs last night, all this stuff, and look what's the show for the entire first segment. So shout out baseball, shout out the Dodgers, shout out Dates, ice cold, unempathetic, heart-rattling in the Blue Jays pain. Coming up next, we have the football G-Spot, Greg Wilson and John Group. Going to be where it's best segment every week. We're bringing down everything that happened in NFL Sunday. More right here, Wake Up Barstool. 7 Spot.
Who the hell are you? When we don't nice. And in a fight, the better. This was the just to prepare such a having the gusto is effortless. Kind of like cool this jacket. Payroll benefits, 401k, being set it up for us. So then I time it's much. So my goodness. Switch that for this payroll. Make your business look good. Yeah, really good. As a young man, my hair started to thin. I couldn't sleep. I was stressed about it. And there were a few options out there. Nutrafol is a drug-free supplement that gives me my hair, my health, and my confidence back. Get going at Nutrafol.com/man.
It's for you. Do you like it? Come on, Charlie, you should be torn. Come on, let's go. I said go. Let's go. Simply talk. Red Bull.
Red Bull Zero. Zero sugar. 100% wings with monk extract. Try it.
Yeah. I don't know what to think about those tosses. And like, it's working. Little quarter of a tough.
Election and coverage. Fox News America is watching.
All right, what I'm down on, I'm only down 800 on. All right, let's get this money back on here too. Still quarters out here. Nice. Hey, they over 850 total. I know. Yeah, triple. Nice. R10. Man, they trying to get you signed up immediately. Huh? Me too. Me too. Make you sign up soon. You come out the womb. Get your footprint on that boy.
All right, welcome in, Brett Coach.
I covered up. You know what I mean?
Talk about this morning would be the Bills Chiefs, but I think it's shifted due to a late injury in the Sunday night game, 7:40 left in the game. The Commanders trailing the Seahawks 38-7. Brutal injury to Jaden Daniels. Graham was showing it. Are we going to get criticized for gratuitous process here? Real ugly injury. Rolling down, falls down, dislocates his elbow. That's been confirmed with the show. We're just showing it. We don't want to show. So, and we have to do a show and we don't laugh. So, everyone is going at Dan Quinn. 38-7 in the game. They said, what's he doing in there? Coach, I'm going to start with you. I don't know if you've been in exact still. I assume you have. What are your thoughts here on him still being in the game?
Well, a couple thoughts, Dave. Number one is 38-7 with 7 minutes left. You probably should take the guy out of the game, given the fact he's already been twice. There is a thought, however, that Daniels in this offense, they've got to come together and find some kind of identity. Let's get him a couple completions, maybe get him a couple mop-up touchdowns, and maybe get this offense going. They have just not looked good at all. Daniels is scrambling on almost every single drop back pass. I would have taken him out given the circumstances of the game. But I know deep down, Cliff Kingsbury and the commander staff probably want to generate a little bit of confidence, try to get some positive momentum for this offense that has really disappeared.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, I've been in many games where you're on the wrong side of the scoreboard and you find yourself in the fourth quarter and you start looking at the clock and you're saying, all right, how long am I going to be in here? If I end in here, my expectation is I got to play hard, I got to compete. What you put on film is what you are. That's a kind of a big kind of narrative around the league amongst the players. I hate second guessing coaches in these situations. I think it's a lose-lose. I think obviously if they knew he was going to get hurt, they would have taken that there. He could have got hurt in the third quarter. He could have got hurt. The score was 14-7. So it's so hard in the NFL to make the call of when you're going to get guys out of a competitive game. I think you scored 7 points to that point. You're trying to coach and you're trying to put together something positive, something at the end of the game to go into the locker room, go into the next week to build off of. You hear coaches say it all the time. I've been in those halls, I've been in those locker rooms. So again, we are going to play for 4 quarters regardless of the score, and we're going to try to build as much as we can out of each opportunity. There was a lot of starters on the other side. On Seattle, there was a lot of starters who were playing as well. So
Yeah, I got everything out. No, they on their way down there now. Wow, you got something up there?
A young quarterback in a scheme and young receivers beat up Foster trying to get some continuity and find a little bit of rhythm as they close that game out. Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I know that I can't criticize the coach in that situation because they have bigger income. They don't have bigger issues now. But they really weren't playing well leading up to it. So you got to get them going. If he's He's coming off an injury. He's your whole team. I think the bigger issue is what Rich is saying. He's running all the time, and he's a practical guy. Not big, skinny, and he's not going to get hurt on that play. The way Washington is going,
Wait a minute,
he's
guy.
going to get hurt at some point again because he's taking a million hits. Sure, he can take him out, but I remember Wes Welker got hurt. Belichick never got himself. Wes Welker got hurt on a meaningless blowout. They were ahead heading into the playoffs. To a degree, I think you're going to play football. Maybe get a little bit, but that team was already going to be on our loser board heading into today, regardless if he got hurt, because they had huge expectations, and they've been pretty bad. That leads us into the winners and losers of the week. Coach, I know you are a Packers guy. You've sat here and you've told me how you know the Packers are the best team in the league, and the rest of that, and you turn around. They lost to Cleveland. They lost to Carolina. Are they still a Super Bowl favorites, Coach?
Well, I don't know, Dave. That was a thunder grab. That is a big blow to the Packers. That was a disappointing outcome. They were 13.5-point favorites. I can't explain what is going on in the NFL. I mean, the Lions coming off the bye, the Packers both in the same division. They just don't look good. I give Carolina credit. They came in with a ball control offense, and they just ran the clock from the game of field position, and they got it up on the field goal kicker, but Green Bay. You're right, they kicked me off basically yesterday. I was shocked at their inability to get anything going on offense. And I'm telling you, losing crap big man because he bails them out of a lot of situations. And he's a good blocker. Some of the things he does doesn't even show up on his stat sheet. That's what's terrific about him.
I'm going to get that because I said trade.
Thanks, Al.
It played out exactly the way Carolina needed it to play out to pull a game like that off. And it was to play limited possession, to play ball control. They made the decision. They won the toss. They took the ball, kept Green Bay on the sideline. Now, part of that was the wind, the weather. It was kind of a crazy day. Wise and kicking the passing game was
R6.
kind of disjointed, but it was Green Bay touched the ball 8 times, didn't punt, and scored 13 points. It's just I think they need to put the game more in Jordan Love's hands. They are a good passing offense going into that game. I had Jordan Love as a top 5 guy. The first half of the year, he was a top 5 quarterback in the league this season. And I think they need to let him more. I think he's a really talented guy. I think he can sling it all over. I think they've got young, talented wide receivers. I agree, Tucker Craft going down is just devastating. That was such a fluke, random play. He was the second floor counter coach. The defensive end comes out and takes out the guard's legs. And as the guard gets his legs kicked up, he kicks the side of Craft's knee. And you heard before after the game say it didn't look good. It obviously didn't look good in person, but yeah, that was a shock. We went into the game saying, all right, how does Carolina just keep it close? And then next thing you know, not only did they keep it close, they made just enough plays there. At the end, Rico Dowdle is a dude. He is a man. He is everything you want your back to be if you're going to be a ball control, really touch a game type of running team. He is a huge difference maker. Getting back to him being the focal point of that Carolina offense was a big move. But I almost think they go double line. They got to score. They got to be able to move the ball and finish. I had to do double take when we do this grounding. I think if we ask most Americans, what is Carolina 5-4? They would have looked at you and like you're nuts. One of the sneakiest 5-14 times. Even the way we're talking about that in this game, like, well, we have to just show up. Everything went against them. They're going to do this. And we're giving almost no respect to a Carolina team that's 5-4 this dog. I'm giving them one. I think Canales was brilliant in his game strategy. I think the way he laid the game out, connecting his offensive strategy, special teams taking the ball, and then obviously him the win in the fourth quarter for the game-winning kick. Offensively, ball control, time of possession, long, methodical drives. Obviously, they just handed it to Rico a billion times. And then defensively, it was bend, don't break. They gave up a couple chunk plays over the top, but for the most part, kept it long 8 to 10 play drives. and then they took the ball away twice, and they made Green Bay settle for field goals. Like, that's modern offense, and that's modern defense. And that is what everyone around the league should be doing, is should be light boxes, heavy coverages. If you run the ball on me, I don't care. I'm going to make you go length of the field. Don't throw it over my head for one-play touchdowns. And I'm going to spend all week trying to be as good as humanly possible defending the red zone. If you do that, you are going to find yourself in a lot of games in today's NFL.
I think you got to tip your hat to the mental toughness of the Carolina team. I watched them a week ago against Buffalo. And Buffalo, I think they were going to run for 500 yards. I mean, had 220 yards rushing on 15 carries. It was untouched in the end zone 3 times. They got their brains beat in. And now they go on the road at Green Bay. I don't know who the heck some of these guys are on defense, Greg, but this Christian Rosebloom guy, he had 15 tackles, man. And the mental toughness that they showed as a football team, going into Lambeau and knocking out Green Bay, says a lot about Canales and the character of this team.
I Buffalo games. I mean, I literally saw Carolina both extremes. I called them at home, get bludgeoned by Buffalo. Then followed them on the road and watched them win a game in Lambeau against. But a lot of people, including myself, I started the broadcast saying that it's Green Bay and Philly are those the 2 teams to be in the NFC. Now you start saying maybe it's Seattle and Philly. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if it is.
Seattle looked great. Seattle looked great yesterday. We'll get to that game. The headline game was the Reno. And I don't even look at the Chiefs Bills. The Bills, I don't even think the score really indicated how badly they beat them. I thought the Bills pretty much controlled this game. They win by a touchdown. The question is, does it matter? Because the Bills now 5-0 in the regular season versus the Chiefs. Then you flip it to the postseason, which, by the way, it was thought the Chiefs would not be in. I don't think anybody here thinks they're going to miss the playoffs. But what do you do with this game? Yeah, it's an important game for Buffalo, but they're already proven they can beat the Chiefs lights out the regular season. Great. What are you going to hear on this game?
Yeah, I think this is what we've seen the last couple of years. I think if you ask Sean McDermott, if you ask Brandon Beane, if you ask Josh Allen, if you ask those powers to be in Buffalo, the expectation behind closed doors, the regular season is a formality, and that's a compliment to what they've done over the last couple of years. All of the time, all of the energy being spent there is how do they get this team to peak, to play winning ball, come playoffs. It is get to the Super Bowl time. They are the Super Bowl or bust. That's their roster. They have the MVP of the league. They've been a consistent winner, and they haven't been able to get past Kansas City in the playoffs. They think this style of play, the run game, the big personnel, they're all good at something. The hero ball off of Josh Allen at times, which I think is going to help them, especially when they get to the playoffs. And defense and run game does have a little bit more impact on wins and losses as opposed to the regular season. So, yeah, they won't shy away. The reality is everything they're going to be judged upon is how they do in the playoffs, and they've earned that. That's the type of team that they are. That has not been norm across the league. But when you're a team that's a perennial contender and you can't quite get over that next step, that's when all the eyeballs you can play. And I didn't catch much of the game, but I had the week before against Carolina. They looked awesome. And yeah, this is a Super Bowl or bust. Can they win in an AFC that maybe is not as strong as we came into the season thinking they were going to be, right? And I think Baltimore's down. How good are the Chargers? How good are the Broncos? And obviously Kansas City. So it is they're not in the first place in the division right now. The Patriots, I know.
John, what do you think? Any importance on this win, considering what happened in the postseason?
Well, I just think home field advantage is a really important thing in the playoffs. Normally, this game at the end of the year will have a lot to do with who has home field advantage in the crowd. But to your point, Dave, right now, Kansas City's got 4 losses. I do think Buffalo sent a message, though, to Kansas City that we ain't going away. I think Joey Bosa is a huge addition for this Buffalo team. And obviously, if Kansas City doesn't get their tackle back, Josh Simmons on the left side, and if Jawan Taylor continues to make penalties on the right side, they're going to have a hard time getting to the championship again and winning it. But I was really impressed with Buffalo, man. This Josh Allen, you talk about the beast of the East. They don't really get it done with receivers on the outside. They lean on Cook. They lean on his scrambling. quick screens to Shakir, and don't intimidate his presence. Well, Buffalo is a hell of a team at home. They can get home field throughout the playoffs. I'll still take Buffalo to get the Super Bowl.
Last question: if you're a fan of these two teams, which team are you waking up more sad? You're like, maybe we're not who we thought. The Colts throwing absolute first real thought of the season, losing to the I don't think a very good Steelers team. Great win for the Steelers. And the Lions, which to me was an absolute star. I do have the Lions in my group of teams that could be a Super Bowl team. Lions lose at home, big double-digit favorites for J.J. McCarthy in the Vikings. So what was more alarming? Are we still in the part of the season where things are shifting and we come on the show and it's like, well, the team we praise in one week where we're absolutely bragging of good work the next. I don't know when that changes, but what loss shocked you or be like, oh, maybe this team isn't what we thought? Coach, let's start with you. Colts and the Lions.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I would say the Lions, honestly, coming off a bye week, playing at home where they've had great success against a quarterback that hasn't even played. And they're playing an opponent that they've had a lot of success in. They have had Minnesota's number, but they didn't get the running game on. They chose to throw a lot of these mobile screens and quick screens, which you like, Dave. And it just didn't ever feel like the Lions got into a rhythm at all. And Minnesota wasn't unbelievable on offense, but I give McCarthy credit. He audible a couple times, scrambled a few times. Other than the interception, he played a good game. But I'm surprised. You know, Detroit lost 30-17 in Kansas City. Now this loss to Minnesota. They're not the same Lions team they were a year ago.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I was watching the scores kind of roll in during our game. That game caught my attention. I mean, Indianapolis has been a great story. I think they're playing for the ball. I think they're going to be a playoff team. Shane Steichen, if they continue to win, you know, you get to the whole coach of the year, what he done with Daniel Jones, turning that around from a season ago. But yeah, I agree with Coach. I think the Lions game, I think Minnesota had a lot of noise, a lot of questions swirling around the quarterback position. Here we find out Carson Wentz has been playing, banged up with that shoulder, just kind of bridging the gap until they get J.J. McCarthy back off the ankle. And then there was a lot of speculation and rumor about how committed are they to J.J. McCarthy. And you know, you get mixed reports coming out of Minnesota. So I thought Detroit, for a team that's been in the fire now the last couple of years, been a true contender, been one of the better teams, you know, one of the best teams in the NFC as opposed to Indianapolis, which is kind of the feel-good story right now. They're still kind of getting used to winning again, getting used to being a team that people circle on their schedule to go after. Detroit's been that now for the last couple of years. So yeah, that game surprised me a little bit. I like a lot of what Minnesota did. I had them earlier in the year, and at the time I called them some of their early games. I was like, they got a shot here. The defense with Flores is really exotic and aggressive, and they get after you. I love Kevin O'Connell. I think he calls good ball. I kind of faded on him a little bit the last couple of weeks. I didn't think they looked good on either side of the ball, but that was a heck of a statement against a really good Lions team that, again, a lot of people have them, you know, at near the top of the NFC, along with, you know, Philly and Seattle. You know, that yeah, Seattle, you know, maybe cut them short, but they were dominating last night. Also, I give a good credit to JJ. I don't know if you saw what he wore the game in his post game when he had the Jerome Ford, blue collar, car mechanic JJ blue shirt on. So that Michigan culture float into the NFL, get the football work back up. Speaking of college, I think we were all pepped up on Miami earlier in the year. Suffers a second devastating loss, and if you go online, Danny Boy came through. They are not happy with Marty Bristol. Where I know you played with them. What are your thoughts on the U right now? Yeah, listen, reality is the reality. It's disappointing. You know, to now give up two after you find yourself clearly, you know, not only enough to be in the ACC championship, maybe you know, the first ever conference title, which is hard to believe since they moved to the ACC. But, you know,
Hold on a second, guys.
Yeah, honey. College football, now with these two losses, I don't know what the future holds. It's disappointing. Obviously, I'm biased. I love Mario as a guy. We go way back. I know that he coached me. I know him since I was a kid. So obviously, I'm always rooting for him. I'm rooting for the school. But the reality is, you beat Notre Dame, you beat Florida, you beat Florida State, and things are rolling high. Where they get to 2 in the country, 3 in the country at the height. So, like, expectations are real, especially at a school like Miami, that people are just dying to officially say, all right, Miami is back to what we know 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And, it just seems this continues to be the hurdle we just can't get over. We can't sustain that after early season September success. You can't sustain it into the back half of the season. That's just real against them. It's just it's not we don't like them. The reality is
We gonna come down, let everybody get their bet set again.
it's real, and you've got to come to play every single week, and they just
Give me another 100 proof dare parts.
another analysis and get the group of their coaching ability for it out there and add another school real soon. Coach, you're going to give it for an update. When are we going to get an update? I feel like if anybody should get the update, it's us.
Keep that brain moist.
At this point, there's a new job opening every other day.
Yeah, coach, give us something.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say to you guys. All I know is I hear Portnoy's coming to Tampa this weekend. That's all I know for the Tampa Bay 2000
Place out.
champions. Coming off their bye. I can't wait to see him, Boston.
Bucks pass, big game. Listen, everyone polishing Buffalo this, Buffalo that, Homefield this, Homefield that. Patriots have the best record in the NFC, my friends, and we already beat Buffalo on the road in a remarkable win.
August 6th.
But as a lecturing brand and T-ball, get this great league about the NFL. I don't care if we guys won or 1,000.
Recording. We're gonna take that first.
So if we beat Buffalo at home, Super Bowl, this is a true story. I was looking up. It's in Santa Clara this year. Back in my heyday, I started booking my hotel right about now. Super Bowl. And I wasn't happy. I think Santa Clara's a lousy Super Bowl city. That's how far advanced I'm looking. I'm looking at travel. So if we beat Buffalo at home, it goes through Foxborough. That's a place, you know what happens? And the Chiefs have beat the Big Ten in the playoffs. Super. All right, thanks, guys.
I don't like saying fire either. I lost the
Should be playing hard boys. They got like 5 of them joints. No hard forward said they 6 and 8, maybe 3 hard 6.
relax.
No, 2 hard 8s, 3 hard 8s. Even if they ain't in the same session, but they shorter because you took the 7, you did not shoot it, so you went on and to another nice one. So that's pretty much that same section. Should be betting hard leads. Let's go up a little bit. Couple of them hard ways.
Hi, I'm here with more gusto.
What is good, nuts, old man? Let's kick it shop. Hold it.
We hired a social media manager. At Gusto made it easy. Payroll, benefits, 401k, done. And spoiler, we're kind of famous. Wait, so we're famous.
Oh, get over there.
Famous.
Get the payroll small businesses are talking about. Choose a future with Gusto.
I'm so posted that.
When my hair started thinning, I didn't want to hear the wisecracks.
I was ignoring my hair because I was a full-time working mother.
Stuck with 6 and made the 5. Whoa.
My hair was getting shrunk and thick.
I finally feel like myself again.
Bunch of people legend. My favorite. This is one of the working for warrior.
I'll be careful now. I ain't like that roll. We came out on a positive note with it, and we needed. I did not like the roll. Not like the roll. Be careful on these next 3 or 4 shots. So letting y'all know now, man. Me, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna push it to the limit. So we got what 50 on that June. I should pay 1,500. Most big ball, bring them.
Just too small.
500 chips out there, Doc.
It's decision time across the nation.
Group of these greens too, Doc.
Control states key issues and key decisions for the country and the balance. Right there, and worth an account anchors special democracy 25 coverage with expert analysis, chart insight, and results as they happen. Plus, reporters across the country take us inside the campaigns. For complete election day coverage, stay with Fox News Channel. America is watching.
Reviews are in. First things first. Say, hey, welcome first. I watch every day.
1,500. Take some pumpkin.
Oh, wow. Consider them a fresh daily dose of unfiltered sports. First things first. It takes at 3 Eastern on that best one.
If Cornell suddenly had Tom Brady's football knowledge, he would consider that knowledge a gift at first. Mesh point on play action and shot his best
Put that quarter for the dollars. Give him 60 odds.
Shame how the wide receiver lined up every young split of the sideline. You know what I'm saying? They did not, as it turns out. Know what he was saying. I know what you're saying, Cornell. Nobody knows football like Tom Brady.
It's great.
Actually, nice. Can't take two. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Wake up, Barstool. It's
Ooh, there she goes.
on the G-Spot page.
527.
Great insight from the football G-Spot.
So I put them bills.
One medium personality that's right. The man
A lot of cash out there. I could have kept on the same system, but switch it up. I'm up $3,000. I think Joe about to come on. Check the time.
So, we have this every night. He is very good, and he's on an incredible team. Like, if you took any top quarterback and you give them those receivers to throw to, they're going to look pretty good. Jordan Tate's playing perfect right now. We got Indiana number 2, Indiana number 3. I still got Alabama at 4. I got Georgia at 5, just a problem up for what they can do this weekend. BYU up to 6. Oregon slide down to 7. BYU.
I think we got time for one more. What time is it? Nah, we don't. They can come on at 9. We're going to call it right here, guys. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for joining. Appreciate y'all for joining. It's been a pleasure. A pleasure that you are here with me.
Listen, I don't disagree with anything you said. In fact,
Been a pleasure that you are.
public airways said Julius saying scared of Jesus. He's very good. I get that. What Michigan is probably want
My guy about to come on.
but they
He can come on at 9.
they utilized the back right game at the end. He gets a touchdown. They got it. You can't get a
I think he's about to come on.
I saw that Bryce Underwood, who I think is very talented freshman, is on pace to almost get to 10 touchdown passes this year. So kudos to that electric offense.
I don't know the injury like Don McCauley hurt. I don't know what he is. Where are full strength? Come on, guys.
I'm hitting a stretch on it.
We got to buy this week in Northwestern. But yeah, it was a big
Bad shot. Both of them things should have been there.
I mean, Miami, I guess, lose it was
Georgia Tech losing as well. Georgia Tech
Damn, Sean.
They finally got it done. But if you look at that weekend, the ACC was a lot stronger on paper than it was coming out. Because Miami loses.
Tight circle right there, baby.
Together and trying to figure out the 12 over the next few weeks. It is now clear the ACC has become probably a one-bid league. Last week we said it's a two-bid league, so that kind of cleans things up as far as the college football.
Tight circle right there. Probably won't make them. Not today. Tight circle right there, baby.
Like, all right, ACC, Florida State's still back.
Almost. Almost. Doing bad, man. I usually can make 2 or 3 of those.
Clearly separated. Three. I'll give them credit.
Usually can make 2 or 3 of those. It's my landing zone work. Ooh, he was in it, baby. Ash buckets. Peace.
These conferences are very similar. I guess you mentioned they look poised to maybe get a victory.